2 microphones,
2 Amandas,
and some seriously entertaining tales. I'm Amanda Wedekamp.
And I'm Amanda Stanzione.
We know stories connect us all.
And we realized we have a mountain of stories to share. So buckle up.
And brace yourself for a wild ride.
Because we've got a lot to say and probably too much to share. Amanda, can you believe that I have on zero makeup right now?
I feel like we're in our Pamela Anderson era.
Yes, we are. And for all of our listeners who have heard the Vanity episode, they would know that I do not like to go out in public without makeup done, my hair done. You know, I like to look pretty. And so now if you watch our YouTube channel, or even if you don't, you should, because today I have on zero makeup.
Yes, you'll get to see both Amanda and I in our fresh faces.
Yes.
I always wear makeup for the podcast recordings too.
And I love that you didn't today. And I got a facial, so I was like, well, I can't put makeup on after this, but
yes, and you told me you were not going to wear it, and I thought, well, that's super freeing. I'm also not going to wear any makeup.
That's why you didn't wear.
Yes.
Oh, I love that so much.
I was like,
that's
this
so
makes
great.
it so much easier.
Yes, but see, you always look great, so I never would have been like, oh, she's not wearing makeup today.
No, you're so sweet.
Okay, I'm excited to tell you about 4th of July.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
So my sister, you know I love her so much, and we're super close. And she would be okay with me saying this, but we call her Redneck Rich.
Love it.
Because they live in a regular house on 10 acres of land, and they have money, but they spend it on 4-wheelers, boats, beautiful camper that sleeps like 12 people. I mean, it's wild. Like they've got, big trucks, like all this great stuff. Okay. But it's hilarious when you go to her house. And I'll tell you a little bit about 4th of July. So she threw this big 4th of July get together. And if you go to my sister's for a get together, it's cooking out, Boston butt. Do you know what a Boston butt is?
It's a pork
yes.
item.
So like if you were to do like pulled pork sandwiches.
Okay.
Yep. But they call
Is
it.
she smoking this?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, come on. This is big smoker.
Yes.
We're out in the country, girl. Where I also live now. So it's Boston butt time, and I make homemade barbecue sauce.
Oh.
So our deal is always like she makes the Boston butt, and I will make the barbecue sauce. Now, when you go over there, you already know it's going to be an adventure, okay? Well, first, let me go back to family. I love that the whole family gets together. So my brother came, and he brought his kids. And so lots of nephews and nieces here. And unfortunately, my sister-in-law was really sick, so she couldn't make it.
Okay.
But my brother's there taking care of, the littles. When we pull up, Chris and I are getting out of the car. We're each dragging along a cooler, one hand on the cooler, and suddenly I hear pow, pow, pow. And I'm like, what is happening? And Chris and I stopped dead in our tracks because my nephew's girlfriend, who's like 15, is shooting a gun, handgun, just shooting the gun. And my brother-in-law, who it's his house, Mitchell, he's standing there and he's trying to tell her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we doing?
And is she aiming at something?
Yeah, so
at
the
the
target. Yeah,
okay.
But the target is taped to a dining room chair.
Oh no.
But the dining room chair is like an outdoor dining room chair, but
Of
not
course.
patio furniture.
Right,
Not like an
no.
outdoor patio
It's
furniture.
just a wood
it's
chair.
just it's
Got
just
it.
like exactly. And so she's shooting the gun, and of course my sister comes out. Mitchell, put up the gun. There's people gonna be here. So she puts up the gun, and going back to my nephews and my nieces, they go from like 3 years old to 16 years old. So I've got one nephew who's working on his truck in the yard. I've got another nephew who is wheeling the 4-wheeler up to the barn so that he can work on it to try to get it to start. And then we've got others that are putting out the big slip and slide. Now, I don't mean slip and slide like old school. It's like 3 feet wide slip and slide.
Right.
This is like the redneck slip and slide. Like we're talking probably 12 feet across.
Okay.
And I don't even know how long. Like it's on a hill in the yard.
And it's probably not a branded slip and slide.
No.
I'm picturing almost like the trash bag material.
Yes.
But they roll it out and it's just the perfect size.
That is exactly what it is. That's a great point. Because when you say slip and slide, you think like, oh, the old school slip and slide.
Yeah, the kids and they're sliding
No.
the little sprinkler comes down on them.
Nope. This is a full like trash bag, huge, down the hill. Everybody's
tarp, basically.
Tarp, exactly.
Yes.
It's like multiple tarps all linked together. And in order to get down this slip and slide, they have to put dish soap. So this huge, like Costco size, like dish soap, they're like dousing onto this big slip and slide so that everybody can make it down.
Yes.
So we've got people going in their clothes. I mean, we've got little kids in their bathing suits. It was a
I was
total
picturing
trip.
Crisco at first, or oil.
Yes.
So I'm like, that's actually the Dawn is better. Or detergent.
The dish detergent is better. But now that we've said it, now that we've put it out there, I mean, I don't know, my sister might do that. And then really quick, my little nephew who's 4 is so funny because he wears a gold chain necklace. I mean, he's just like my brother. He's a spitting image of him. But he has been wearing this gold chain since he was like, before he could walk. I mean, we're talking like they've had him in a gold chain since he was like 6 months old. I mean, probably before that. I mean, he probably left the hospital in a gold chain.
I love it.
And he's such a ladies' man. He walks up to 2 of the girls at the party. One is his cousin, so he knows her. But he said, "Hey, what's you girls' names?" And he's 4. And it's like, okay, well, they're family. So you already know, but he's 4. The other really hilarious part is that Chris he just likes to take it all in. He just knows when he goes to Angie and Mitchell's that this is what he's going to get. Yeah. So he's sitting in a lounge chair and he's got his shades on and he poses for a picture and he holds up a non-alcoholic beer because he doesn't drink, but it's in a koozie. So you don't know that maybe it's a non-alcoholic beer. And the koozie says, "Make America drunk again." And so I think we just laugh because we're like, the irony. He's got a koozie that says "Make America drunk again," and he's drinking a non-alcoholic beer.
Right. He could have had a soda inside. No one would have known.
No one would have known. And lastly, I don't know how you feel about karaoke.
Oh, I do enjoy some karaoke.
Yeah, okay.
Especially family karaoke.
Yes. Well, this family karaoke came out at like 3 p.m. So that tells you what shape everybody was in, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And my sister and brother-in-law think that they can sing after a few beers. Mm-hmm. So now I will say they're not the worst singers, but they're not Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, which is what they like to sing. So they each get a microphone and they just are singing a duet together. I mean, no lie.
And are they sitting or standing?
He sits.
Okay.
She stands.
Okay.
All the time. Every time.
It's all
he's sit. She goes, "All right, baby, you ready?" He goes, "All right, give me the microphone." And they just literally, like, he sits, she stands, and they're just singing. And if you really get her on a good one, maybe like by the time the sun's gone down, she'll pull out some Whitney Houston. I Will Always Love You. I have, every time she says that, I say, "No, I don't think that we're not going to do." "Yep, turn it on." "All right, so I am." So, it's always a good time. It doesn't even have to be a holiday to be at my sister's. It is always a party.
Oh, that sounds so much fun. Maybe I'll come to the next one.
You should.
Amanda, I'm excited to share the title of this episode is From Georgia to Green Acres, Part 1.
Oh.
Because it is so long, there will be a part 2.
I'm excited. Then that means it's going to be a great story.
I hope so. Many of you know, and if you follow me on social media, and of course, Amanda, you know that my husband, Jim, and I recently purchased a lake house in Michigan.
Yes, and since I saw the pictures, I've already picked out my bedroom and bathroom.
Yes,
okay.
We can't wait for you to come visit.
Yeah.
So I thought I would kind of share the story behind the fact that we live in Georgia and we bought a lake house in Michigan, 14 hours away.
Versus a lake house in Georgia at one of the 2 large lakes in Georgia.
Yes, yeah. Or one of the many lakes between here and Michigan.
Yes.
What made us decide to purchase in Michigan? My family ties to Michigan go back all the way to 1939.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, I wasn't born then.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
My grandparents, Lily Navarre and Dallas Morgan, got married and honeymooned in the Leelanau Peninsula in Michigan in 1939.
Okay. I love that you have this like backstory and you know the years.
Story, yes. Because, I love that kind of stuff
too.
Oh,
so do I.
It's just super important to me, that family history. We found out that they loved the area so much. The next year, they invited Lily's brother Ernie and his wife Trudy to vacation with them.
Ernie and Trudy.
Yeah, Ernie
Love
and Trudy.
That. So cute.
So it was Ernie and Trudy Navarre and then Lily and Dallas Morgan. And they continue to go up every year. And then my mom was born in 1949. So 10 years later. Her brother was about 4 years older than she was. So 4 years before that. Trudy and Ernie had 3 girls. Their names are Dawn, Darla, and Diane.
Boy, that's a tongue twister.
It is.
Dawn,
The 3 Ds.
Darla, Diane. Okay.
And sometimes,
Triple D.
yeah, Triple
Those
D.
are big names.
Sometimes we call Diane Dee Dee.
Okay.
One time we were on vacation with this whole family in Michigan, and Jim was like, I've got Darla, I've got Dawn, and I've got Diane. Who the hell's Dee Dee?
She's a 4th one.
I'm like, well, she is Diane.
Right. We got, that's
We still joke about that because it was so funny. So they all went every single year. So my mom and her brother David and 3 Ds plus the parents. And we call them kind of the OGs.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. Then the OGs all are getting married. So that second generation, they're getting married and they are now bringing up their children. Ernie had passed away before even I was born. The 3 Ds were in high school.
Okay.
So that was a tough time for them. My grandfather, Dallas, passed away when I was in kindergarten, so I don't have a ton of Michigan memories with him.
Right.
My grandmother, Lily, passed away when I was in college.
Okay.
So I have quite a few memories with her.
Yeah.
And then Trudy, we called her Great Aunt Trudy or Aunt Trudy. She lived to be 97.
Wow.
And so her last year in Michigan was 2015.
Wow.
So we
she
have
spent
a ton of memories with Aunt Trudy.
Oh, I love
I know,
that.
I have goosebumps talking about it because it's just so important to our family.
Yes.
So we, like I said, have been going to this one specific area year after year for a week or 2 in July. Over the years, we have brought friends. We're a very welcoming group. So we've got some ex-wives that come. We've got some family members on other sides that come. My grandparents on my dad's side have come in the past. Jim and I have brought friends and their kids in the past.
That's
so it's a
great.
very welcoming group.
I love that.
And during any given year, we have between like 25 and 40 people.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
It is.
But it's also great because if there's any family you really don't like and don't get along with, great, there's a lot of other people.
There's lots of other people you can just talk to.
Yeah.
So here's how our lake house came about. As many vacation places do, it has become super popular.
Yeah.
This is an area that is known for the Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes, the national
Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes. Okay.
the National Lake Shore of Michigan, but it's a national lake shore, so it's part of the national park system.
Okay.
The Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes are this giant sand dune that you can climb and see.
Oh, interesting.
Lake Michigan on one end, and you can see 2 Glen Lakes on the other end.
Very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's becoming very popular. It's near Traverse City, which is another really popular touristy destination.
Yeah.
So the vacation rentals are becoming more scarce. And our family, over the years, we've been in lots of different places, but we've always been on Glen Lake.
Okay.
There are 2 Glen Lakes. There's Big Glen Lake and Little Glen Lake.
Oh, that makes it easy to remember.
Yes. And obviously, Big Glen Lake is bigger and deeper.
Okay.
And then Little Glen Lake is smaller, but also shallower.
Okay.
But they're all relatively large sport boating lakes.
Yes,
So
got
you're
it.
going to see people skiing and, jet skis,
Yes,
those kind of
fun.
things,
Yeah.
pontoon boats, everything. So we've always stayed on Little or Big Glen Lake. And in the years past, Jim and I have really talked about trying to find a place up there to
Well, because
really
you spend a lot of money, I'm sure,
Yes.
renting these places, and they're only getting more and more expensive.
Right. And
Yeah.
we do kind of stress about, are we going to have a place when our kids' want to
Yeah.
come? It's been sort of a point of concern for us.
Right, yeah.
Now, you can almost always rent in town, but then you don't have
but
the
not on the lake.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So we have been looking for quite some time, but the joke in the family is every generation has been looking.
Oh,
And so, my grandmother did end up buying some land up
Okay.
there, and there's a funny story around that. So apparently that year she told Dallas, I am not coming home until I've bought land up here.
No way.
Yep. And she goes, you can go home and I'll take the bus.
What? Yes. She's up there looking for land?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
So she did.
She did?
She did it. She
Oh
bought
my
land up
gosh.
there, and that land is still in our family.
Oh, I love this. And then
Yes.
caught the bus home and was like, well, bought that land.
did it.
I mean,
Yes.
talk about putting your mind to something.
Uh-huh. She was very determined. And she said, oh, the lake is just down the street, which to our family kind of meant, like you could walk to the lake.
Yeah.
It's definitely a drive.
Okay.
But you can still get
Down
to the
the
lake.
street in a car.
Yeah, in a car.
All right.
And there's a giant historic rock on the property. So we all have termed it the Rock.
Okay.
We take a family picture at the Rock every year.
Got it. Okay.
And some of the family members camp at the Rock because there's
Okay.
a lot of land. My cousin has a pole barn there.
So is there ever any plans to build something on this?
I'm not
piece of
really
land?
sure because it's the other part of the family.
Oh, got
so
it. Okay.
I don't really, I've never asked them like what the
but
plans
it's not,
are.
You and Jim aren't making plans for that. That's not your
Correct.
place.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not
got it.
ours. Right.
Got it.
So we've been looking all this time, and really our search has been focused on Little Glen and Big Glen.
Okay.
They are the most popular lakes. At any given time, literally there are like 3 houses for sale.
Yeah.
I mean, it is scarce.
Yeah.
And the prices are super high,
Of course.
as you would expect. Now, in summertime, things come a little more often, but I feel like the prices are even higher in the summer
sure.
because people are up there.
Right, exactly.
And they're like, ooh, I want to
Ooh,
live
I
here
want to
now.
live here. Yeah,
Yes.
I want a place.
Yes. So we have real estate alerts on our phone,
Mm-hmm.
and Jim and I were driving home from Florida, and I open my email. There's an alert from Zillow. This house that you liked has dropped the price. So I open it, and I was like, okay, yeah, we don't want this house. So I scroll up just a little bit, and this other house picture shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a picture of a house, and it's from the lake view. So you're
Oh,
in the
okay.
lake looking at the house.
And you're thinking, I don't know, this looks good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I read the address and it says Pearl Lake, and I'm thinking, but it's in Empire, which is where Glen Arbor is.
Okay,
like where
okay.
the Glens are.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So I'm like, I've never heard of Pearl Lake. I didn't even say anything to Jim.
Oh,
I'm
right. You're just
"Let me
over there
look
in
real
the-
quick."
uh-huh.
And so I looked on maps. I almost said map quested. That's how old I am. He makes so much fun when I say MapQuest.
Yeah,
He's like,
that's-
stop it.
yeah,
We're
the
gonna
old
get out
school,
our
you get out the-
AAA, like, Atlas.
Yes. Or you're printing out all those MapQuest directions.
Yes.
I mean, anyway. Okay, so you're looking it up.
I look it up. 16 minutes from Glen Arbor and about 25 minutes from Traverse City.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, this is like great location.
Yeah. Were you like, oh, but Pearl Lake, I don't know what that is?
Yes.
Okay,
I
you
was
were.
a little
okay,
nervous,
okay.
right? Because
I
I'm
haven't
like-
been on any of these lakes, but I'm
Right.
thinking it's not the Glens.
It's not
so-
the Glens.
Okay.
Okay. But then we read the description of the house, 6 bedrooms,
Oh, it's big.
5 bathrooms.
Loving this.
And I'm like, I might be able to make some concessions.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
Plus, then I'm looking at all the pictures like, oh, it's really
this is
good. Like,
good,
this has
yeah.
been renovated.
Right.
This has been updated.
Yeah.
So I show Jim the picture and I go, why aren't we buying this house?
Yeah.
And he looks and he goes, why aren't we buying
Buying
that house?
Right. He's like, well, you tell me.
Right, because
Yeah.
I was always the driver of the Glens.
Got
He's
it.
like, he would have been fine on the river. There's a
Oh,
river
got
there.
it. Okay.
He had looked at other lakes, and I was like, absolutely not. We're never doing anything but Glen Lake. And
Okay.
then just this one, the price was right.
Yeah.
The size was incredible.
Yeah.
The condition was amazing. And frankly, now that we've purchased it, we like Pearl Lake better.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I
Isn't it
know.
funny when you just opened yourself
Yes.
up to potentially liking this, and now you like it even better?
And now we like it even better. I know.
This is like a win-win-win.
It was incredibly meant to be, is how I just keep looking at it. So
I love that.
We get the realtor on the phone. She told me later that she was in a field and just sprinted
No way.
to her car because the listing realtor was requiring him to be at the location.
Okay.
For any other showings.
Okay.
So our realtor, Nikki, was like, luckily he was there and I could sprint over there.
Oh, yeah, because,
Yes.
because you're not up there, but you want to see this house.
Right.
Yeah.
So she did a Zoom tour for us.
Oh, that's great. I
Yep.
love that she was in a field and started
I know,
sprinting
I
to the
know,
car.
I know.
That's great.
It was amazing.
Dedication.
Yes. So she does the whole Zoom tour, and we decide, that's a Thursday, we decide we're going to put an offer in that night.
Oh, that's
Okay.
so great.
And she finds out we're the only offer. So
Okay.
we're like,
That's excellent.
okay,
Like,
we're
yes,
super excited.
yes.
Okay. The next day, you and I filmed
Yeah.
the commercial.
Yeah.
And that is one of our episodes. If you haven't checked that one out, that's our big break. We talked a little bit about this because I was
Yes.
super distracted.
And I was like, what are you doing? And then you tell me, and the whole day I'm like, have they responded?
Yes.
have they responded? I mean, you'd think I was buying the house.
And I was so nervous about it, because I really wanted this house. But also, we had already put an offer on a house in February, and we gave a full price offer, and we didn't get it.
Yeah.
So I was like, definitely protecting my own sanity.
Yeah.
We also didn't want to get into a bidding war because
those are difficult.
we were not in a situation where we had to do this.
Right, sure.
And yes, it was an amazing home, but the price was very appealing, and so we didn't want to just keep escalating and escalating.
Makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. So we're walking out from the commercial shoot. I'm about to drive home, and she texts me and says another offer came through. And I'm just like...
It's like the worst news. You don't want any of that.
Yes, it was awful. I was so stressed and like sweating. I'm sweating now telling the story because it was so stressful. So she and I talk almost the whole way home on ways we can improve the offer without improving the price.
Okay.
And so we made some other concessions, and she represents it to the listing agent. I go to Publix because it was close to dinner time, and I'm like, I'm just going to grab us dinner. She calls me in the Publix and is like, you got the house. And I am crying. I start crying.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how tied I was to this. Yes.
Oh, wow.
And she goes, I'm crying too. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean.
So obviously, did Jim know you're tearing up right now as we're talking about this. So did Jim know when you were on the drive back that there was obviously another offer that just came in?
Yes. So he was aware of that, and he was comfortable with me talking to Nikki, obviously, and getting through some ideas.
Yeah.
Then I think I represented them to Jim, like, here are the 3 things, and that doesn't change the price.
Right.
And he was like, I'm good with that. So then we present it. One of the things Nikki had said was, they are super nervous. You haven't seen it in person, and you're not from the area.
Okay.
And this is a very, like, we keep to our own kind of area.
Yes.
We want to sell to our own.
I could see how that would be,
and I
too.
understand that. You want to keep the integrity of the nature.
Yes.
We don't want these, like, people coming and destroying our lake or, like, doing things that we just don't know you.
Right,
You're city people,
Yeah.
So that she recommended we write a letter. And I just thought, I cannot do this. Like, I cannot put my emotions and then be rejected.
Yes.
And so I told Jim, I said, I cannot do that. And he's like, well, I'll do it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Jim.
So he wrote
Love Jim.
So he wrote the letter and kind of talked about the family history of it. And of course he put my great grandparents. I was like, we got to fix that because we're not that young.
Right,
right. I was like, your math is off here. He goes, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I fixed that. So we submitted it and we got the house.
I love that they wrote a letter, or that Jim wrote a letter.
Yes.
That's great. Well, because, I think that is a special touch when people write a letter and then you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, we recently sold our house and moved, and we had, luckily, thank goodness, you said you didn't want to get into a bidding war, which I can imagine as a buyer, you would not. As a seller, I loved that we were in a bidding war. Right. But I can't imagine if they had all started writing us letters. I'm glad they didn't, because I would have just been a mess, because I would have been like, well, I like these people.
Yes, but their offer's not the highest.
Right. It would have been difficult.
Yes.
So
and we found out later that both offers were basically exactly the same.
Oh, wow.
So
the letter really pushed it over.
The letter, we think, pushed it over.
Of course it did. I love that.
After Nikki says they've accepted your offer, she tells me, and it sounds like they're leaving a lot of the furnishings.
Okay.
And we didn't know this.
Yeah. So
when
this
we
is like,
gave the offer.
This could either be good news or bad news.
So now I'm literally zooming in on every photo.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, okay, but are they leaving this? Like, what does some furnishings mean?
Because are you going to be happy, or are you going to think,
now I got to get rid of everything?
Now I got a lot of work on my hands to get rid of this stuff.
There were, in the pictures, there were 4 kayaks in the garage.
Yeah.
There were like 3 bikes. There were beautiful beds in every room.
Yes, I saw these pictures.
Yes,
they were
beautiful
great.
linens, but I'm also like, are there linens under these linens? Like, are there sheets?
Right.
I just had no idea. And I'm now nervous because they're nervous about us still a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
And so I don't want to be selfish.
Right.
So we go through the inspection period. We get through due diligence. And then I'm like, can you find out exactly what they're leaving?
Right.
Just because I want to know.
And now you have a right to know. You've done the due diligence. They know that I mean, the offer is solid. Like, you're locked in.
Yes.
You're getting the house.
Yes, we're buying this house.
Right.
Yes.
So now it's okay. What are you leaving
Yeah,
me?
what are you leaving me?
Yeah.
So my realtor went through and opened every closet.
Oh my gosh.
Every
She's
drawer.
so good.
Yeah, in the kitchen. She's sending me videos of everything they're
Loving
leaving.
this.
TVs. Like,
Wow.
and one of the TVs is 4K, and Jim was
Yeah.
like, "We've never had a 4K TV."
This is great. Talk about not having to purchase a lot for the house.
We didn't. The only things I bought were 2 rugs and
Wow.
4 placemats.
That's amazing.
It was incredible.
Because when you buy a house, it's like, okay, the purchase of the house is one thing, but all of the purchasing, the furnishings of it. But
and this house is about 4,500 square feet. So
Yeah.
in order to furnish this
it would have
thing-
been crazy.
And I am such a bargain hunter that I
Yes.
would have been like, well, I got this free couch.
Right.
But we got it in Georgia, so we got to get it up to Michigan,
right,
honey.
which is
now
like,
it's
no.
costing us $300
Right.
because I'm making you U-Haul it
Right.
for 14 hours.
Exactly. A free couch.
Yes.
Quote, free couch.
And they left. I mean, and their furnishings are nicer than we would pay for.
I love
I
that.
would never have bought the high quality of everything. And one of the funniest things I was most excited about is there's a tabletop ice maker.
No way.
Yes,
That's
they left
so
that.
great.
I know.
I love ice. I always get extra ice in everything. So knowing there's an ice maker,
Yes.
it's like, yay.
It was so fun. So those were things that I was like, this is hilarious. They left all the kayaks.
That's great.
They left a bunch of life jackets.
Yeah.
They did take a couple bikes, but they left a bike.
Yeah.
And Jim's like, it's a bike you could drive.
Right.
Or ride,
Sure.
drive. Listen to me. I'm like, driving a bike. So that was really cool to see everything that they left and, we are now utilizing.
It's fun because it's like uncovering all these little treasures.
Yes,
Every
yes.
time you open,
A
a drawer or a closet, you're like, oh, they love this. Cool.
Yeah, it's been super fun to do that. So let's talk about how we were going to present this to the kids because
yes.
it was a secret.
Right. Oh my gosh.
We were keeping this a secret because we already had a vacation planned, our annual family vacation.
Right. So they already knew they were going to Michigan.
Yes, and we were all already going. So now, before we knew about the furnishings, we were originally thinking, oh, just Jim and I will stay in the new house.
Yeah.
And then everybody will stay in the place we've already rented.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we already
Okay.
had a place, and
Yeah.
you can't really get out of it. I
Yeah.
mean, we were way too close to
Right,
that period.
yeah.
But, so, my mom and sister knew, and my sister's husband knew. So they
Yeah.
were all in on the secret, right?
Right.
So my mom's like, well, I kind of want to come up early. I'm like, great.
Yeah,
You can come
sure.
up early, Mom. So now Mom's staying at the new house.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Great. Because Mom's like, why would I stay in that rental you
Right.
got? Like, let's get in
Let's
this
get in
new
the new
house.
house.
Yeah.
So then I present it to my daughter, Gwen. I said, look, your dad and I are going up early. Why are you guys going early? She was very curious.
Oh,
because
yeah.
she knew we'd talked about buying a place.
Uh-huh.
I said, well, we just want to check it out and see how we feel about staying up there for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And I said, Maggie, that's what they call my mom. My mom's name is Jill, but they call her Maggie. So Maggie is staying with us.
That's hilarious. Like, instead of grandma, they call her Maggie.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I know, isn't that funny?
I've never heard. I mean,
And they came up with it. Gwen
Oh,
did.
just
One
Maggie.
day she was just like Maggie, and so it's stuck.
that's. I did not know that about
Yeah,
your
isn't
family.
that funny?
That is so cute.
Yeah, that's the grandma name.
Yeah, I love it. Okay,
So,
Maggie.
Gwen's like, oh well, and I said you can stay at the rental or you can stay at this other place that we're renting. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I want to stay with you guys. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So now we have Jim and I, my mom, and Gwen. So there's 4 of us
Okay.
in the one place.
Committed to the one place.
And
yeah.
I'm thinking, great, Gus and his girlfriend Caitlin, which is our son and his girlfriend, and then my sister Julie and Damon will stay at the rental.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm also very conscious that, like, this is the last year anyone's going to stay on Glen Lake.
Yeah,
from our whole, like, direct family.
Your rental place that you already had set up was on Glen Lake. Yes.
And, I mean, literally my entire life. For
Was-
50 years, I've stayed on Glen Lake.
Yeah.
My sister's entire life.
Yes.
My children's entire life. Like,
Yes.
it is kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we're kind of upsetting the apple cart
Right.
here.
Because now that you've bought a house, we're going to be on Pearl Lake, and
Yes.
that's just where we're going to be.
And that's where
Yeah.
we're going to be. So
Yeah.
it's like, if
No, I
you
get
want to
that.
spend this last year on Glen Lake, right? So then I present to Caitlin and Gus, like, look, here's what is happening. You
Yeah.
guys are welcome to stay at the new place where, it's on a different lake, or you can stay in the rental. And they're like, well, we want to stay at the new place.
Which is hilarious. That they're in their mid-20s. I mean, I'd be like, great. You
Yes.
guys are all staying at the new place. We will definitely stay in the other rental.
Right.
That's funny that they
Right.
didn't want to do that.
No, they wanted
Wow.
to stay at the new place. I think
Yeah.
because they all wanted to be together.
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
yeah.
that's kind of the whole point of this
Yeah,
week
of course,
together.
of course, sure.
And being, 15 to 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
It was going to be some carpooling back
Yeah,
and forth.
it wasn't like they were across the street.
Right. So now I'm thinking, okay, now Julie and Damon are going to be the only ones staying in the rental. And I'm a little anxious about it
yeah.
because now they are flying. Everybody was flying but Jim and I. So Julie and Damon were going to rent a car. So we had a 4-person car for them and our car's 4.
Yeah.
But now we have 6 people staying at Pearl.
Oh, gosh.
And potentially 2 at this rental. So I am just...
Now you're starting the
I'm
logistics
very
and
stressed.
it's all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, how can I entice my sister to want to stay at the new place, right?
Yeah.
So I know my sister loves ice.
Oh, great.
And the
Love-
rental doesn't have an ice maker at
I,
all.
I love that you're thinking ice.
Yes,
that's how I'm
that's
going to
gonna
get
be
her
the
over
thing.
here. It's the ice maker.
and I'm like, because we make ice 3 times a day
Yeah.
at the rental. Like we're filling ice cube trays
Yes.
with hot water. 'Cause,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
best way. And I'm just thinking, I'm going to be like, Julie, there is a tabletop ice maker. And there are 2 refrigerators that make ice plus 3 other beverage refrigerators.
Yeah.
We don't have to keep our or our drinks in the cooler like we always do.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sitting here like,
Yeah.
how am I going to really
Yeah.
entice her?
Yeah.
So I texted her and said like, hey, Caitlin and Gus are going to stay at the new place. We did get them a car, but I just wanted to let you guys know. So then we were talking on the phone. She's like, oh, great. Then we're all going to stay at the new place. And I'm like, oh, you and Damon are staying at the new place? She's like, yeah, we just thought that'd be weird to just be us in the rental. And I was like,
Great.
amazing!
Yeah, I didn't even have to.
I didn't have to talk about the ice.
Right. That's just the cherry on top.
Yes. So
And you have so many bedrooms.
We
that
do.
This worked out great.
everyone got their own bedroom.
Love this so
Plus,
much.
we even had an extra bedroom,
That's insane.
which was awesome.
Yes.
So we now are still trying to keep this a secret from the kids.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And that's interesting. Okay.
It's-
like I'm wondering, are they on to this? Because suddenly there's this new vacation spot.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically what we told them was, this place, let us come up early and secure it for more than 1 week.
Oh, okay.
That was
okay.
kind of
I
what
like
we said.
It. Yep.
But when they asked, they didn't really ask for photos, but I sent them a photo of
Yeah.
the place and I cropped it so it didn't
Right,
have the
right,
address.
right.
And I couldn't send them the Airbnb listing
Right. Of
because
course
that didn't
not.
exist.
No. Exactly. No.
And I am terrible with surprises and secrets. So I almost caved so many times.
Oh my gosh.
It was so
I love that
bad.
you cropped the picture though. And you're like,
Yes.
I can't give you an Airbnb listing.
And I can't give you the address.
But you can see that this place looks really great.
I did accidentally let one other secret sneak out because we were bringing Hazel, our dog.
Oh, and
This
you
is
don't bring Hazel.
No, we've
Yeah.
never brought Hazel because it's very hard to, one, find a rental, let alone find a dog-friendly rental.
Right.
We've never brought her. And even Gwen said, oh, I would love Hazel to come to Michigan sometime. I'm like, wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't it be great? Yeah.
And so we had gone up early, like I said.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking, and I shared a picture of Hazel on the trip on my stories on social media.
Yeah. Yep.
And Gus's girlfriend texted me and said, like, I didn't know you were bringing Hazel. And I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't mean to do that.
You're like, oh, glad this wasn't a text. Because had you
Yes.
called me out like on the phone, I would have been like,
Yes. So
Yeah.
I said, oh, I meant for that to be a surprise. She's like, well, I don't think Gus saw it. Maybe,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, Gwen doesn't watch my stories, so no problem. She definitely didn't see
So
it.
She won't know.
No. But then a couple days later, Gus goes, well, I know you brought Hazel. And I said, oh, yeah, sorry, that was going to be a surprise. He's like, well, I'm super excited.
Oh, that's great.
So at least that was going to be a surprise for Gwen.
Yeah.
And how we were going to surprise the kids was they were going to come in because they were all flying on the same second flight together. There was a connection.
So they'd all be together.
Yep, they were going to be together, and they were going to come in and see the house and see Hazel and be like, "You brought Hazel?"
Right.
And we were going to say, "Yes, we were able to bring Hazel because we bought the house."
Oh, that's so great. Like such a great plan.
Yes. So I ruined the one part for Gus and Caitlin, and you're going to have to stay tuned to part 2 of the story to find out how we did do the big reveal.
I'm excited.